Hi again, everybody. This video is sponsored by contribution from Lisa, and it also has audio attached with it as well. And here's her story. Hi, Ollie. I'm sending you an update on the first video you did for me in July and the second one you did for me last month. Thank you for your support and advice. I really like your approach, calling out the BS and telling it like it is. My narc family have always made me feel like I'm in a tailspin, hence why I studied psychology to try to understand their behavior. It didn't help. Only my only life experience has helped me come to terms with my role as the black sheep and the scapegoat. This has had a massive effect on my life decisions and situations in so many ways, but at least I don't blame myself anymore. As part of the healing process, I have distanced myself from these toxic individuals by renaming them according to the crazy characters they are. It helps me to laugh at the craziness rather than get miserable, stressed, and drawn into the drama. I hope you find yourself laughing at this comedy duo and that this helps other abused subscribers too. By listening to your videos, I've been able to understand the crazy characters in my life. I am now sending you a contribution with a recording between my 80-year-old overt narc stepmother and my 82-year-old covert narc father, and an email I received in May 2016. Okay, so on the recording is going to be two 80-year-olds, her stepmother and her father. My stepmother, who I now call Wiggy Miss Piggy, is as vain, melodramatic, and unpredictable as Miss Piggy, but without the sense of humor. She has been fat all her life, but is currently skinny after being at death's door in the hospital for 3 months. Yo, she's 80. Sadly, she recovered. Oh, God. See, whenever weight is brought up, see, to me, there's only one reason women bring up age about them, weight about themselves, and it all relates to attractiveness and sexual activity, and so that would already tell me that there's some sexual shit going on. Okay, that is well into the 80s, which I can relate to with Virginia because that's just how she was, strutting around at 80 years old in front of my cancer when my one aunt had cancer, trying to show off her weight loss and digging for compliments. Sadly, she recovered. I have never wished anyone dead, but this year I have found myself wishing her a slow, painful death for all the misery she has put me through. She has the worst hair in the world, like wire wool, and she often wears a wig on top of her hair rollers. This makes her head look like she's from another planet. Wiggy Miss Piggy is the perfect name for her. And again, older people lose their hair. But the fact that this woman is so obsessed with her looks and all that, the fact that you're pointing it out to her would tell me that it's something that has been thrown in your face and it just defines your stepmother. My dad, who I call the gag man, left England to live in the US when I was a young child and married Wiggy in the 70s. He's called the gag man because he has spent his life in theater telling jokes, but the comedy was just never confined to the stage. The circus comes to town whenever this comedy duo arrives. Briefly, Wiggy has made it impossible for me to spend any time with the gag man since they met 45 years ago. I have seen him on average about once every 5 years or for just a few days and never on my own. Wiggy has created problems with all his friends and family, and one by one they have all left him due to her obsessive jealousy. I have only maintained contact with him by tolerating her and providing the attention Miss Piggy constantly craves. She has always monitored my emails to him, and I couldn't even have a Skype call unless she was sitting next to him. Last year, I decided to visit the gag man for a week since he was living in an attic in order to get away from her. Wiggy told me she planned to have him assessed for dementia and put him in a home. Wiggy also told me that now he lived in the roof. She could easily shoot him by accident thinking he was a burglar. During the visit, I spent the first 3 days with Wiggy listening to her usual bullshit about the gag man. She made sure that the gag man was too busy to spend any time with me, though I hadn't seen him for 5 years. Given that I decided it would be the last time I would visit, I decided there was nothing to lose if I politely requested permission to have lunch with him alone. She immediately went crazy and accused me of having a daddy complex and wanting to have sex with my father. There we go. The gag man ran the gauntlet with her for the rest of the week, enjoying the drama and dragging me into the circus. This is one of the recordings that the gag man made at the time. I thought it would be entertaining to hear your feedback. The recording starts with Wiggy on the phone to her daughter, my stepsister. The tirade started because the gag man didn't want Wiggy to go with him to meet his visiting family. My weight is nowhere near 300 pounds, by the way, but this comedy duo has always been obsessed with weight, as you will hear. I had to edit our names out and identify information, so occasionally there is a jump in the conversation, but you will get the general gist of the parallel, insane world they live in. So let's go to this recording. And it's about 7 minutes long.
I want to ever see you again. I never want you to come back.
And now remember, this is the stepmother and the stepsister, a recorded call.
Ever. And you know, when I told that to you, he sneaks upstairs like a ghost tonight and sleeps upstairs because his fucking fat cunt daughter doesn't want him to sleep in bed with me. And I don't need a husband that won't fuck me, won't stay home with me, won't cuddle me.
80 years old. 80 years old, and she's still seeking dick and attention. Dick and attention. I do remember now your two stories. I remember your father living up in the attic. Not only is this woman 80 years old talking about getting fucked by a guy that she's already wants to put in a home, but she's discussing it with her own daughter, her father. Like right there, like you could just end it right there and be like, what is fucking wrong with you? What is your problem? Well, we know what your problem is. You're a fucking, you're a chronic whore. You suffer from chronic whoredom.
They went to, so he said it, I put it on speakerphone so he can hear it. And he said, just get the fuck out of my life and let me get on with mine. Let him get on with his. He keeps telling everybody he wants to leave. Well, fucking leave. What?
Well, wait a minute. Which one is it? He's telling you he wants out of your life, out of this woman's life. But she opens the call with blaming you because you won't let him fuck her. So he really wants to go fuck this 80-year-old fucking bag of bones, okay, who has lost a dramatic amount of weight at 80. I can only fucking imagine the horror show. The horror show. Not only are you looking at an 80-year-old naked woman, you're looking at an 81, formerly obese naked woman who dramatically lost weight quick. Holy God, fuck. What a nightmare. I'd want to throw acid in my own face. And then she's complaining now she's turning it on him that he wants to leave.
No, he said, that's true, okay. He said, give me my passport and my Johnson hat. I'll pack it up. And I said, take everything that's precious because you gave myself a week of freedom. I ain't going to do that now, but who knows what. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's what he wants. He wants to leave. Fucking leave. I can't go see his family. I won't go see his family. Our families are separated now. They're broken.
Well, what would you call, if they're separated now, what would you call him only seeing his daughter once every 5 years? See, they're separated because now he wants to see them without you, so now this is all an issue. But when you were the one alienating everybody, that was all well and good.
That's it. Just keep that fuck out of my face. Fucking fat cunt pig daughter buy you a trailer, and you can live.
So now, wait. Do you want him to fuck you, or do you want him out of your face? Which is it? See, the narcissist will argue both sides of the coin simultaneously. How do you argue that he won't fuck you because of the daughter, but he wants to leave and go?
Live in the trailer until your fucking dementia puts you into a home. And I'm still there. Love the England. He don't want to go to England. He don't want to be. She's got her daddy back. Keep your daddy.
You got your daddy back. Well, she only sees him once every 5 years, you fucking manipulative cunt. You manipulative old fucking cunt. That's his daughter, you bitch. You're a step whore. Fathers dying to see their daughters like me and can't. My daughter's stepmother doesn't try to keep me away from her. That's a different situation. This is all you. And you're making it clear in your words that you wanted to keep him away from his own daughter and his own family. Like it's a fucking competition. And this is your bitterness as you feel your power slipping away because you lost.
And stick him up your fat ass. She's got a big enough, fat enough ass to get up her ass.
Sounds just like my mother. Just like my mother in Virginia, always talking about fat asses and this chick's fat ass, and now shove it up your fat ass. Something about whores, something about chronic whores and shoving things up asses. I guess it's a logical conclusion, but you know you don't have to constantly, try a new one.
So get off of mine. I have a skinny little ass. He told me. I have a
You're
skinny
80. You're 80, bitch. You're 80. You're 80, 80, 80. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Oh my God, this woman is a goddamn disaster. Do you see the competition she's in with her stepdaughter and pretty much her own daughter too? Talking about her ass to her own daughter. Talking about her fucking 82-year-old husband won't fuck her. Get the hell out of here.
It's not very attractive. It's true. I do have a skinny little ass.
It's true.
I have a skinny little everything. But my mind is not skinny.
Oh yeah, it is, bitch. Oh yeah, it is, bitch. Your mind is anorexic. Your mind is anorexic, bulimic, all at the same time. Just throwing up any sense of logic or intelligence it can as fast as it gets in there. You're jamming your fingers down your throat and spitting that knowledge and proof and validation back out.
No. Well, back on the road, girl. Don't worry. I feel better than I'm beginning to feel so depressed. I mean, every room I went into last night, he screamed at me because he went to the wrong. It ain't right. You went and picked him up, you stupid prick. What's wrong with picking them up? It's your niece. It's your family. Take your family and keep your fucking family.
You hear that? Family, family, family. You hear the anger. It's like she lost the competition. She's back in middle school because the guy she liked went for the other chick. But this time she's talking about family. Your family. What a horrible woman.
And keep him away from me. Hey, sitting right here.
Yeah, I'm right here. Yeah.
It ain't gonna be for long though.
There
No.
it is.
You sure you can't leave before the 12th? Fuck out. For anything I can get, just be done with your fucking land.
Well, that's why I gave it to
And
you.
I don't have to give you a penny of it.
No, you
And I don't have to give your fucking cunt daughter a penny when you die.
I never
I
figured
will give them nothing.
I never thought I would get a penny.
Does she seduce her father? Well, she could seduce her father.
There's the money threat. Uh-oh, now she's going to seduce her father.
She seduced him psychologically because she's a professor of psychology. So she's been seducing him psychology. No fucking convenience.
There it is. Well, she's a professor. See, there's the crazy accusations. No responsibility. Couldn't be that the fact that you're even making this phone call, right? That this phone call in and of itself is proof of where the problem lies. She doesn't see the irony in all of this. Okay? No, her daughter's got to be seducing her father because she's a professor of psychology.
An inconvenience. He's an inconvenience right now. An out fucking convenience. And I'm gonna broadcast it to the fucking world.
Don't worry. We're beating you to it. Don't worry. Don't worry, bitch. We got you. We got you on that. You can go back and look for some dick. We'll take care of exposing it to the world. How's that?
Don't say a word on Facebook. You'll leave it alone. Okay, goodbye. Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm very glad you've had the courage over your convictions.
I never said it before. 44 years, I never said it.
Oh, you did? You've told me to get out many
I was
times.
in the hospital. I was getting blood. You were doing all sorts of things to me, and you're standing there and you're just antagonizing me and telling me it's my fault. Well, I wish your fucking fat daughter to get the big.
Don't even consider that you might be playing a role in this, right? It's got to be the daughter. It's got to be the fat daughter too. Always got to put in that, you always got to put in that adjective, right?
This heart attack that anybody ever had because of her fat.
Yeah.
If I got a heart attack because of my little bit.
You were fat.
I was not fat.
You fattened
She's
yourself to the
300
point of destruction.
300 fucking pounds she is. And it had nothing to do with my fat. It only had to do with what you did to me, motherfucker.
Now it's him. Now had nothing to do with her fat. Even though she was fat, it was a different fat. Now it has to do with him. This bitch takes no responsibility for anything.
I gave you the heart attack.
Yeah, you gave me a heart attack.
Right.
Here, here's your beautiful gang.
Well, like I say, I've been planning to move, and since you told me not to be here when you came out of hospital, disobeys you.
Somebody disobeys me because I don't expect obedience.
You expect obedience.
So then why did you say it if you don't expect obedience? See, this is another example. The narcissist can say whatever they want and not be held accountable. They can excuse it. You can't say anything. Everything you say is held as 100% truth and will be thrown against you, to be used against you at a later time.
Respect that I didn't get it from your cunt daughter, and I never did. And she could never give me any respect because she doesn't have any. She hates you because you left her. You left England, and you left her when she was a little girl, 5 years old.
Yeah.
You fucking dirty bitch. You fucking dirty bitch. You're mocking her. Her dad left the country when she was a child, and you're mocking that? You're mocking how she might feel about that? Now look, I left there and I had to leave New Jersey. Under different circumstances, but to mock the child, how she might feel, I believe that keeps me up every day. What that put Erin through, what all this puts Erin through, you give it no consideration. That's all Charlene does is worry about what Erin feels and, what she's gone through. Oh, you fucking cunt. You malignant cunt.
Victim of the new age. I'm an old ager against the new age.
Now she wants you to die. Be out there.
He did leave her. He did leave her for you, you pig. Not under any threats of arrest or anything. He did leave her. And you just want a 5-year-old to accept that?
And die. Don't.
She speaks to him once every 5 years under your control?
Die here.
Oh, well, what the hell? I can go to a SAG home. I can be looked after by this.
He can't take care of himself. She's throwing it in his face that he can't take care of himself, but this fucking audio open that he won't fuck her. He won't cuddle her. You can't win for losing with the narcissist. This is why you cut them all out. Because this is what you're going to get. You're going to get this insane mishmash of fucking of excuses and blame and guilt every time.
Funny thing? So could I if I wanted to.
Oh, by all means.
But I fucking don't want to.
No,
I got
you
enough
don't have
family
to.
with money.
You've got money, family. That's all you need.
Gives.
That's all you need.
Not like your family.
And you're all out for
Gives. It's all she's about. Dick and money. Dick and money.
people. You can't go wrong. Don't want anything. I don't leave here because I'm a materialist. I'm not a materialistic guy. I seek harmony and peace. And I never found it here.
You don't see
I never found harmony and peace here. In 44 years, it was never here.
You've never had it in
And
your
it
life.
never.
You know, I got to tell you, your father's performing here as well. And he is performing here as well. This is a codependent, enabling type of relationship.
Will be
And you
here.
never had it in your life, and you never will.
I never will.
Maybe you can bounce around a few little trailer parks and meet a couple of little sexy little.
What to do? What am I going to do with
Who
it?
the fuck cares?
Who
Tell them
cares?
about the Bible.
Who cares?
Tell them about what they are. Find out. Maybe you'll find somebody who's not a Scorpio.
Hey, you sound very blasphemous
I'm a Scorpio. What does that mean?
here. What's
Maybe
wrong
you'll
with the
find
Bible?
somebody who's nothing wrong with the Bible. Maybe you'll talk astrology to them. Oh, honey, let me do your chart like you do with me.
Just mocking him. Just mocking what he likes. Just what a toxic, malignant cunt.
Oh,
I'm very interested in astrology.
Find out that
But I'm
day.
more interested in the Bible.
Why didn't you find out that day that I was a Scorpio ox?
I didn't care.
I know you just
One
wanted
way
to
or
get
the
in
other.
my pants. You wanted a little of that. So
No, I didn't get a little of that.
yes, you did. You got plenty of that. Plenty of that.
It was very reluctantly given.
Only because you
Well, I'll say this, okay? I'm not really big on astrology and all, but I'm a Scorpio. And if this woman's a narcissist and a Scorpio, it is a deadly combination. Because we can hold a grudge better than anybody. And we don't ever forget. Now you add narcissism in on that, that is pretty toxic.
made me feel uncomfortable.
I made you feel uncomfortable.
Really, he made her feel uncomfortable. But talking about your 82-year-old husband fucking your 80-year-old fucking dilapidated, dropped out fucking pussy isn't embarrassing to your daughter. Well, that just says everything.
You emasculate men. You always did. You were born to do
I
that.
wish there was some
That's
that
your
was still
generation.
alive. I wish there was some that was still alive that could tell you that I
Well, I still am alive, and those
you are barely,
younger guys than me are
barely.
gone because they didn't look after themselves and treat their body like they're supposed to treat it. That's how you got a heart attack. I didn't get those. We're all gonna go.
55.
We're all gonna go.
Our feet have already gone.
Well,
You can't walk.
Until we go, we want some kind of peace and quiet.
Well, go get your piece of pie.
I'll get started right away. No problem. I never have a problem. I know who I am and where I'm going. I know where I'm going, and I'm not going with anybody.
They're gaslighting each other. This is a game the two of them are playing with each other. They're gaslighting each other. And that's just what's going on here.
No, sir.
Wow. So the story continues. So Wiggy makes it clear that she wants the gag man to leave, so he went into hiding with a woman he met online who lives in another U.S. state. I remember this, and I think she went to track him down. Wiggy found him by hacking into his email, then hounded him with private detectives, the sheriff's office, the police, adult protective services, etc., making false accusations that he had been kidnapped, locked in a closet without food and water, and forced to have sex with his landlady. All these allegations were fully investigated. After Wiggy arranged for offensive posters about the landlady to be hung up around town, the gag man lost his home and his landlady lost her job. The gag man moved back to his home state and stayed with Wiggy's son for a couple months. That was the first indication that perhaps he never really wanted to leave Wiggy in the first place. He had other options for accommodation if he really wanted to be apart from her. I started to suspect that I was part of some crazy game between them, and now they were dragging more characters into the drama and inventing their own reality, which is exactly what I was saying at the end of the audio. They're gaslighting each other. This is all a game they're playing, okay? They didn't plan it out, but it's like an understood game, and your father probably did leave with the intention of coming back. I continue to support him financially through a sense of responsibility, yet he just left his children without any financial support, and then blamed my mother for breaking up the marriage. Since he first left her, Wiggy has hounded me for the last 12 months, sending her flying monkeys to abuse me and threats to publish a book to ruin my career. Wiggy regularly posts offensive abuse about me on Facebook, even to this day. I have not responded to her or her flying monkeys once since I politely asked if I could have lunch with the gag man. After 7 months, the gag man got sick and ended up in intensive care in April. He was drinking some of Wiggy's flying monkeys. He was drinking with Wiggy's flying monkeys the night before, so I'm sure she had him drugged. Coincidentally, this illness came upon him the morning of his court case to get a restraining order against Wiggy. Then he recovered, and there was a great gotcha moment in the circus act. The gag man moved back into the marital home with Wiggy Miss Piggy. I have now been scapegoat as the one that caused the whole marital breakdown, as if I had some kind of daddy complex. In reality, she hated that I had unbridled contact with the gag man without her authority or supervision. A month after they got back, I received this email. My husband and I are sending you this. Now you notice how she starts this. Not your father, my husband. My husband and I are sending this to you so that you get a good idea of what's going on now and what will be happening in the future. Your father, my husband, is doing very well here at home where he prefers to be and does not want to be disturbed. He is not running around to police departments and courts to respond to your hungry cries for protection or whatever. And most importantly, the pathological psychobabble has been permanently silenced. Yes. FaceTime, iPads, and other methods of rapid communication have come to a halt. He is not well enough, but getting there. And every day from the malignancy that drove him for the past 14 months, he is making him stronger and bringing back the good memories of our life that were so carefully, almost psycho-surgically removed. You so effectively nearly ended his life in having him run amok, trying to damage me to prove his love for you. The courts, the police, and social services had enough of your rampant misbehavior. Keeping this elderly man in such a stressful condition, trying to fulfill your hungry need for attention, very nearly killed him, and we will not permit this to happen again. We should have stopped too long ago, but have done so now. Others have not been so lucky. Recognizing your ultimatum to him to leave me or lose you, I understand just what problems you have. Your continued hounding of your dad to show how much he loves you proves it. He's coming to that recognition now. You are still his daughter, and you will be cared for and respected for that. If you are able to come to terms with our decision, never again will you fill him with lies, secrets, or deceit. He would be very happy to see you get and live a life of your own and have some enjoyment and fulfillment from it. And certainly so would I. You are prepared to compromise and understand. If you are prepared to compromise and understand the true commitment your father and I share for one another, really, then why won't he fuck you, bitch? Then he will be able to get a good relationship with you. We will forgive you because that is who we are. Well, you're not forgiven. Nobody gives a shit who you forgive because you're a lying narcissistic cunt. This is all meaningless. This is a victory dance for her. This is her shoving it in your face. A relationship that we never had because of you over the years have insidiously filled him with guilt because of the events of the past. If you can let that go. Oh, you mean the truth of the past? How is it insidiously filled with guilt from the events of the past? Not the events weren't true. How is reminding him of the shitty things you did insidious? Riddle me that, cunty cunt face. If you can let that go. Where are you dropping ultimatums, bitch? Where are you getting off dropping ultimatums? If you can let that go and accept your relationship with him in a true perspective as a daughter, and me as his wife and as my husband, then we can accomplish this together. Go fuck yourself. This is classic hoovering, and I ignored it. It was Wiggy that caused the gag man to get so ill. I did none of the things she's accusing me of. Wiggy wants me to accept her new terms and conditions in order to have access to the gag man, but I went no contact with him since in April, since he clearly has no problem allowing Wiggy to abuse me. I simply don't want to be exposed to this comedy duo anymore. Last week, the gag man asked a relative to persuade me to get in touch with him, and the relative declined the attempted hoovering and is still going on. Expose him. Expose him. Was it an email? Was it a phone call? If you have an email, I would show that email, and I would shove it right in her face. What am I doing? I haven't said anything. It's so convenient to scapegoat me now. Amazing how much power I must have to brainwash him into leaving Wiggy. They renewed their wedding vows in a church last week, and a public display of togetherness announced on Facebook. They are both Christians, haha. I am now free of my sense of duty towards him. He has been the master of his own destiny. What a joker. Choosing to live out the rest of his life with Wiggy Miss Piggy. So long, gag man. Thanks, Ollie. You are always the scapegoat. You being the scapegoat is not a new thing. You are always the scapegoat. You know, you have that audio. They post everything on Facebook. I would keep posting this shit so people can see when she posts this shit what the truth is. Much like when they die, the opposing obituary. Remember the opposing obituary with the truth. I wouldn't. Look, they're hoovering. They can't get to you. They can't do anything to you. The audio recording, I would post that right on Facebook. The email, I would post that right on Facebook. This video, I would post this right on Facebook. And not argue with them. Just post the facts. Just post the truth. And don't argue it. Don't engage it. You just put it out there for people to read. That's really what I do. That's why I don't argue much in my own comments threads. That's why I don't really argue much on my Facebook page. I put my opinion out there. You either like it or you don't. But when you engage people who are trying to troll you, you're giving them what they want. You want to really, really, really get your point across that you don't give a fuck. You don't show you that you don't give a fuck and they don't bother you and that they're winning by hiding their identities, by hiding this stuff. You put it out there and you just let it sit. And you don't reply to negative comments about it. You don't even reply to the positive comments about it. This is what it is. And it's for everybody to decide. Now, if you were to put that out there and anybody would listen to that audio recording, can't see in 2 seconds where the problem lies, then they're doing you a favor. Then like, okay, again, I don't need you in my life. I don't need you in my life. I don't need you in my life. And if that includes your family members and your father as well, then so be it. So, thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you for your story and the audio. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any advice and opinions in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, or a narcissist you'd like to expose, you know what to do with my PayPal link and email link in the description box. And remember, when you do email me your story on the email link only, please be sure to put at the top of the email whether it's with or without contribution and what name you'd like to go by. This is Ollie Matthews. Thanks for watching. See you all again soon.